I don't want to waste any time because I know our next guest has got to do life. You know what I mean? He's got to go get the kids from school. So let's not waste any time because he's got thoughts that we absolutely need to share. JT O'Sullivan joins us here on Willard and Dibs 95.7 The Game. Hey, JT, what's cooking?
Oh, man, ready to go. Thursday again, football time.
Comes fast, doesn't it?
Not fast enough. I love it. Let's go.
Which means you're about to be back in the lab, obviously. The QB breakdowns, the QB school. You know how much we love it. But I do want to sort of get clarification from you. I saw something about a week ago that seemed to be like, tap the brakes on Brock Purdy. Yes, he's good, but let's tap the brakes. JT, in your mind, where does he kind of sit now on the list of NFL QBs?
I mean, this is the beautiful thing about what I get to do. I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. I let you guys take care of all the lists, all the rankings. It certainly is fun to hear people go back and forth, and I feel like they kind of self-sort themselves into it. But the beautiful thing about playing this game is that it will sort itself out. I mean, he has played outstanding to start the year. I think it just can't be overstated how good he's playing. And then when you couple it with how little he's played and then coming off of an injury, it just makes it that much more spectacular. But I mean, what else can he do at this point in the season other than just kind of, allow all of us to kind of wonder and appreciate how great they look offensively and how great he's playing quarterback.
When you start to heap praise on Brock Purdy, what do you look at as the most praiseworthy parts of what he's doing so far, JT?
Oh, that's a good question. I think that there are many things, and that's probably what makes it, even more impressive. I think the thing that jumps off the film is the decisiveness, the accuracy, the anticipation, the consistency that he's able to play with, the ability for him to deliver the ball and drive the ball exactly where he wants, really surgically in that intermediate kind of chunk area, 10, 20 yards down the field. And then you couple that with his ability to kind of create a little bit. He's probably a better athlete than people probably thought coming into the league. So he can create, he can use his legs and, all those things together in that system with those weapons. Pretty special.
JT O'Sullivan with us, Willard and Dibs, 95.7 The Game. We don't know that this is going to happen. It sounds like the tea leaves say that P.J. Walker is going to start this game for the Cleveland Browns over Deshaun Watson. In your opinion, JT, that changes this game how?
0.
Interesting. Why?
I think the 49ers are on a different plane. I think they're going to go in there and try to play their game and take and do what they need to do, specifically offensively, and from Brock Purdy's lens, nothing. I mean, they're going to go in there and not necessarily play to the level of their opponent and go in there and take care of business. I think that, they're already down, in my opinion, on the offensive side of the ball over there with Cleveland, and they're just trying to, still try to find out what exactly they are. And, whoever's playing, it doesn't impact how the 49ers go into this thing, in my opinion. They're going in there to continue to exert their will on the league and just get better and better every single week.
JT, should I take that as some sort of a negative comment about Deshaun Watson? Because there's a way I could take it where it sounds like that a little bit.
I mean, you can take it however you like. I haven't watched Deshaun Watson play in a long time.
Okay.
And so I consider what they do defensively in Cleveland to be pretty good. They've got a game wrecker up front. And so they'll certainly have to take care of what that looks like as far as defensive pressure. But from, the Brock Purdy 49ers offensive lens, they're going out there to just kind of continue to do what they do and get better and better and become even, they're already scary as an offensive unit. And so they need to keep that upward trajectory going, and it doesn't matter who you put in front of them right now.
And you look at this Niner offensive line that's been pretty terrific through 5 games, and everyone looked at Dallas and, Micah Parsons game wrecker and, DeMarcus Lawrence and all the rest of it, and they stood up to that test. Is Cleveland another level above Dallas, or is this just going to be another good, solid matchup for the Niner O-line?
Well, I mean, I think in the landscape of the league, there are a handful of guys who can really ruin a game individually. And, you can get through them. And, that's the thing about playing at that level. You're going to see them pretty often because there are only so many teams, right? And so all these guys have game records, and having a plan to take care of that doesn't mean that you're going to be able to execute the plan every single series. And so, Myles Garrett, a guy like that, is going to have an impact on a game. And so just being able to keep him in check, have different answers, for what we want to do to not only attack him, but alleviate the stress that he's going to cause to the pass protection or the run units is, something that those guys are going to have different plans for over the course of the year. But yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things where you just keep going back to the toolkit for different answers to be able to handle guys who can wreck games at the line of scrimmage.
JT O'Sullivan with us on Willard and Dibs. Okay, JT, we'll leave the rankings to us, but let me ask it in just a little bit of a different way, because I know that nationally this is a conversation that a lot of us are curious about. When you watch the 49ers play football, obviously Brock's playing well. Obviously he's got good teammates. Obviously Kyle Shanahan's a good play caller. But how do you sort of pull that apart? How much is Brock versus how much is the situation?
Well, the thing about it, and this is the stuff that's hard to make sense of, especially right now when we're in it and we only have a smallish sample size, is it will sort itself out. Okay, the things that I look for to continue to reaffirm kind of the trajectory that Brock Purdy is on nationally is, can he do this when it matters most? Okay, at some point over the course of his career, I'm comfortable saying this, he will be behind in the fourth quarter. At that point, can he drive the ball down the field and put the ball where he wants to and make the plays and elevate the offense like he does right now when they're rolling? Can he do that when it matters most? And will that happen in the playoffs and in the most crucial situations? Can it happen in weather? All of those things will be answered. Right now, they're not. And so we have to sit in this like weird limbo world. But at some point, they're going to get those opportunities. Will he step up and take advantage of them? We'll see. I don't think there's any reason not to think that he will. But up until this point, it just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, they've been behind for a minute and 48, I believe, in total, the 5 games that they've played. Are you seeing Kyle Shanahan call games differently based on an increased faith in Brock Purdy over what he had before?
I mean, I don't even know if I'm qualified to answer that. I think that Kyle's continuing to have that thing evolve and grow. It looks more robust, more comprehensive as far as different uses of motions, new ways to try to incorporate kind of the trends across the league to be able to take advantage of that. And I think the thing that I love about Purdy's game is occasionally in the past when things haven't worked or they've broken down, they might not have been the most creative at the quarterback position, where now Purdy can buy you some time. He can use his vision. He's aggressive down the field. He's taking advantage of those chunk opportunities that maybe y'all haven't seen in that offense for the last few years.
JT, great stuff. We'll get you going. Really appreciate your perspective, man. Thanks for coming on.
My pleasure. See you next time, y'all.
All right, definitely. JT O'Sullivan, the QB School, with us here on Willard and Dibs.